we want to talk about a big launch today that we've been privy to and excited about from a new effort, a new endeavor, a filmmaking company that's been started called Holy Wisdom Films. Let me put that on the screen here. Share you the new announcement that's coming out. This is the page on social media that we've been seeing and sharing, so everybody can get to know this long-awaited development, which is a documentary that's going to be focusing on Christianity. Of course, that's what we do here, right? But Christianities, not just Christianity, but what are these Christianities that we now live in? Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of them in the Western world. This is a documentary, a full feature-length documentary. Journey to the Heart of the Faith is the subtitle. And our host in this documentary, we're going to play the reel here in a moment. Our host in this documentary, we're going to go through this whole page here and talk about it, is John. Here's my brother, First Things Foundation founder and head. He is, you can read his biography here, but he is very well-traveled, very well-experienced all around the Orthodox Christian world, but all around the third world as well. He spends a lot of time in Africa, in South America, in Georgia, where he has been going for about 20 years, in the Republic of Georgia. And he's going to be our guide. He's going to be our documentarian on this whole journey, our host. And Stephen Scooter Downey is the director of this new documentary, this endeavor. He is very well experienced, has a number of documentaries already under his belt, and he worked for Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson Originals were his productions, those short documentaries that you would see on the Tucker Carlson show before Fox nixed it all. So he's got a lot of experience. He's in Tennessee, and my brother's down in South Carolina. My brother John is, as I said, founder of First Things Foundation, but also he opened up as a part of the First Things Foundation, which is a foundation dedicated to helping build from the bottom up entrepreneurs in the third world, taking Americans, planting them in the poorest of the poor. They learn the language, they live among the people, and they identify after a year the best possible entrepreneurial possibilities. They help establish them, and they bring funding, and then they try to build from the bottom up instead of this typical waste of money that they're throwing from the governments that never really reach the people. So that's part of the work. But he's got another side of the work, which is old world, new world, bringing people back to their roots, back to the old world, connecting the new world with the old world, as he says. He does his own podcast, Heavy Things Lightly, and he's interviewed a lot of people. You should check him out and subscribe to his YouTube channel, Heavy Things Lightly on YouTube. And they opened up a restaurant, a Georgian restaurant, a Capey restaurant down in Greenville, South Carolina. If you're down there, you should go check it out. And so he's got a lot of experience with peoples and forms of Christianity. We'll talk about that. We'll read that in a minute. But let's first let's watch the reel together, the teaser together. Here's the introduction, the teaser for this documentary that's being launched, and we're going to talk all about the documentary, what they're trying to do with this documentary. I think it's going to be really very helpful for a lot of people in this day and age of many kinds of Christianities, not always very understandable. Let's hear it. Hopefully this will work.
What is a Christian? I kind of do this for a living. My name's John Heers, and this is our restaurant. And in this restaurant, we throw this Georgian supra. It's a dinner, and it elicits all these toasts and ideas and emotions. And inevitably, the question comes up, what is a Christian? An evangelist, a missionary, a martyr, a healer, a saint. What is the church? A denomination, a building, an invisible body. What's Christianity? A religion, a way of life, a revolutionary political movement. There's a cultural moment happening right now where The old Christianity has died in many people's hearts, and yet, if you drive around town, you see that it exists. Why is it so different from one place to the next? What you see is not a single Christianity, but Christianities. You see a divided faith, divided by politics, by belief, by whatever. Are you driving by a museum or a social club or something else? What's inside all those buildings? Is there something for you there? Where is God? And if you knew where he was, would you want to go? Is there a Christianity that's growing, or dare I ask, more true than others? We're going to interview people from all over the world, and as we do, I want to go on a journey with you guys and figure it out. Our goal is to investigate how people through the millennia and right now, how they see Christianity. Let's figure out what's going on with all of these Christianities.
All right, there it is. That is the trailer over on the Indiegogo page. And I want to take everybody back there and look at the page. Let me get it back on the screen here. And let's go through what this is all about. What is this documentary all about? You can see here in our day and age, as everybody's obviously and painfully aware, that we got a lot of problems. In other words, the world is dying for Christ, Christianity, the life in Christ, the hope of Christ. It's total and utter chaos. There's a dearth of spiritual and theological and philosophical clarity and guidance. Obviously, how did we get here? How do we get here where we have thousands and thousands of Christianities, or at least hundreds, and there's not, certainly there is a tremendous war against Christians. Tucker Carlson just gave a talk to the Heritage Foundation 2 days ago, yesterday, in which he is pointing these things out. Pretty amazing, actually, his talk, given the state of things in the United States, that he's talking to politicians and policymakers, and his almost entire talk is about the spiritual underpinnings and the backdrop to the chaos. And he's talking more like a philosopher or a preacher than he is a political analyst. So I thought it was very interesting and praiseworthy, because there are few voices that are understanding beyond the superficials what's really going on. And of course, the chaos that we see, the insanity that we see surrounding identity politics, losing one's identity, not understanding who we are, not understanding if we're women or men or what, all of that. Where is it from? Where is it coming from? It didn't come out of nowhere. It's got a long process of dissolution going back centuries and centuries and centuries. So this documentary is an attempt to begin to, let's say, unravel that. It's going to be a journey in which John Hears, we're going to follow his many travels. We're going to follow his work around the world, and we're going to be doing interviews with high-profile people. We just actually closed an interview today with somebody. Not going to talk about names quite yet, but we closed out an interview today with a pretty high-profile thinker, intellectual, writer who is got a lot to offer. And so step by step, we're going to be, as we fundraise, it's going to be a very, very expensive endeavor, because that's how these things work. The high level, the professional production, all of that, it costs a lot of money. So we need to fundraise a lot to get this thing off the ground. But God willing, with your help, the help of many people, we're going to get there. And at the same time, we're working in the background to set up the interviews. And it'll be a journey of talking to people from all across the spectrum. We're going to sit down with people who represent the various Christianities. We're going to hear from them what they have to say, why they think it is the way it is, what they understand to be Christianity. And we're going to go on a journey to find the ancient, pristine expression that has to be somewhere in this whole mess. There has to be a line. There has to be a line back to the Lord and to the apostles. There has to be something that is going to make sense of all this. It can't just be total chaos, but there has to be something that's going to reveal to us after this journey exactly what is Christianity. I'm still